We are just a few days away from the launch of Brighter Shores. I am incredibly hyped up for this game. I was just poking around on their website looking for any information I could find when I came across their rules page. And yes, I'm a nerd. I decided to read through this entire rules page to see if I can find anything of interest. Today, I'm going to break down what I see here. Before we get started, I do have a bit of a sponsor, if you will, and it is none other than myself. We are going to be going live. Yes, we're going to be picking the live streams back up again, starting on November 6th with no other game than Brighter Shores itself. You'll be able to catch me live on Twitch and right here on YouTube. I'll have a link to that Twitch down in the description. But let's go ahead and get started here. Starting off with the chat abuse rule. There's nothing really interesting here aside from the no scamming rule, which they describe as deceiving other players for your own gain or to maliciously harm them. This is interesting. I'm wondering exactly how they're going to go about enforcing this. Trading is not going to be enabled right at the launch of Brighter Shores, so there's going to be no trade scamming, at least right off the rip. So really, the only thing I can picture in my head is maybe somebody convincing another player to step into the place that ends up taking them out of the game or something. This actually leads me into another interesting thought. I'm wondering exactly how loot is going to be. If you remember back in the old school RuneScape days, back before the old school RuneScape is as we know it, when a player would die, their items would almost instantly appear on the ground. I think it was like 60 seconds or something. And there's no greater memory I have than being a noob on the come up, seeing somebody who definitely has some items I want to loot die right in front of me. You know, you're sitting at the Steel Dragons training in old school RuneScape and a player dies that's fully kitted out in like dragon legs. You're hoping for something big out of that, right? So I'm wondering if there's going to be any of that going on here, because if there's not, there's really no other incentive to convince somebody to step into a dangerous area other than to possibly troll them for no other fun than to troll. Let's move on to some more interesting stuff though. Rule 2 is no cheating. And again, this is all very obvious stuff right here, but the interesting thing I want to point out is the fact that they say no using or creating a modified version of the Brighter Shores client, no using or creating third-party Brighter Shores servers or client. This means we're not going to be looking at private servers, obviously. I didn't expect that right in the beginning, but more importantly, it means that they are taking a stance in not allowing add-ons to be created for the game. This is something I wish more MMOs would do. I know, for example, Ashes of Creation is another MMO I'm looking forward to that they are taking a hard stance against add-ons being developed for their game. So honestly, I'm really excited to see that in here. And then we get all the way down to the bottom of the page where we have penalties and appeal. There are some interesting penalties in here, such as segregation from other players. I'm not sure if that means they're going to transfer you into a bot world or a bad player world, or exactly what that means. But another interesting punishment that they have is daily playtime limit being imposed. That would suck, man. That would suck. I don't know what punishment, or I don't know what penalty you would have to break to get that punishment, but that would not be a fun one to get. As well as access to the free version of the game being removed, meaning that if you want to play, you're gonna have to pay. These are some crazy penalties that I don't know what rule you're having to break to have these imposed. But the last two interesting ones that I see here and want to talk about are both disqualification from the leaderboards as well as disqualification from the PvP leagues. This is cool to see that we actually have a little bit of a confirmation here coming out for Brighter Shores not only having a leaderboards, but some sort of PvP mechanics and PvP leagues. I'm really excited to see if we're looking at a possible game similar to RuneScape and RuneScape's PvP, where you can specify specific builds that are going to shine, such as Pures or Berserkers. I basically did nothing in old school RuneScape but PvP. I absolutely love building new Pures and new accounts to mess around with. I'm really excited to see where exactly they're going to go with this and how it might work. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have any predictions as to how in-depth the account building will be inside of Brighter Shores. But that's all I wanted to break down inside of this video. Again, we're going to be going live over on Twitch and YouTube November 6th, starting off with some Brighter Shores. I cannot wait for the launch of this game. Hope to see y'all there. I'm out.